I read 7 books in the month of April and DNF'd one. Let's talk about them. First book I read was 7 Years Slip. I gave this 4.5 stars. I loved this book, actually. It kind of reminded me of Addie LaRue. Thought it was really good. I didn't love the characters as much. I just didn't have like that grasp or hold or like connection with them. So I couldn't give it 5 stars, but everything else absolutely loved. 4.5 stars. Second book that I read was an audiobook. This one was Educated. I also rated this 4.5 stars. I thought the story was like so inspirational, very motivating. It was like a really intriguing storyline. I don't know if I would have loved it as much if I read it, but I loved listening to the audio. It was like one of those books that will stick with you forever. A lot of lessons, a lot of character development. Really, really great book. 4.5 stars. The next book I read was also on my Kindle. This is Powerless. This is the 3rd book in the Elsie Silver series, the Chestnut Spring series. I liked it. I give it 3.75 stars. I just didn't love it. The other books were 5 stars for me, the first 2. I absolutely devoured them. Loved the characters, loved the storyline. This one was good. It just wasn't what the other 2 were. I'm still anticipating reading the rest of the series. I just haven't gotten to the rest of them yet. The next book that I read was a cheat sheet. My best friend gave me this book to borrow probably like a year ago, and she's been hounding me to read this, and I just obviously have a ton of books, and it was just like a last priority. I absolutely love this book. Like from the moment I started it, I was spooning over the characters. Absolutely loved them, loved the storyline. I give this 4.5 stars. Definitely excited to read more of her. My first DNF, do not finish of the year, was All the Colors of the Dark. Okay, this book had such fantastic reviews. Everyone that I know that read it absolutely loved it. I waited forever for this to become available on Libby. I listened to it on audio. I tried listening. At the beginning, I was super interested in. I really enjoyed it. I thought I was going to really love the book. And then about like 15 to 20% through, I had absolutely no idea what was happening. And I kept rewinding. I kept re-listening. I would get to like another few chapters, and I ended up getting like 30 to 40% of the way through. And I was like, I have absolutely no idea what's happening. I don't understand. I'm not enjoying it. I had to just return it to the library. It was like due. I wasn't going to extend the hold. I gave this 1 star. I'm not counting it as the 7 books that I read this month. And I'm not putting it towards like my actual total. I did include it on Goodreads with a 1 star. Because I felt like I read enough of it. I spent like 3 weeks trying to read this book, and it just wasn't it. So if you read it and you loved it, I'm really interested to hear your thoughts. Another 4.5 star, Beautiful Ugly. This is a book of the month. If you're not book of the month members, you absolutely need to join. I have a code that you can get a discount for your first month. I absolutely love them. I feel like every book that I've gotten has been a book that I really enjoy. This was one of them. I gave this 4.5 stars. This was just such an intriguing like thriller suspense. I felt like I was going to have like whiplash. My dog. I just felt like there were so many twists and turns, so many things that were happening. I was just devouring this. I had no idea where it was going to go next. I had to wake my husband up out of his sleep when I finished the book and was like, I just need to chat about it with somebody. The last book that I read this month, 5 stars. This might be like one of the best books I've read this year. It was, first of all, this has also been on my shelf. I went to the city in December around Christmas time and stopped at the Strand bookstore in New York City. And I bought this book because I was like, I've loved Christina and Lauren. If you guys don't know, they are best friends, Christina and Lauren's 2 authors. They write books together, co-write. I've read a few of them. I read Paradise Problem and A Christmas Book. Maybe another one, and I've loved every single one of them, and I've heard such fantastic things about this. Bought it with me on vacation to South Carolina, could not stop reading it. This was just absolutely an incredible book. I felt so many emotions reading it. They do it for me every single time, but this was just everything and more. This is a book that will not go into my little free library. This will sit in my bookshelf for the rest of my life. 5 stars. I wish I could give it 6 stars. If you have not read this one, this absolutely needs to move to the top of your list. And that's our April reading wrap up.